Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Minnesota Vikings and the Buffalo Bills. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Singletary to get the drive started. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. This defense for the Vikings, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Washington.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game. And I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one. But 7?
Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. Joseph connects on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And it'll come out to the 25 as Raymond will elect not to bring it out. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. 1-7 their record here at the midway point of the season, and right now this organization, more than likely if you look at it, CD, probably in for a rough second half of the season.
Well, we've seen teams turn things around in other places. I mean, we've seen 1-7 first halves turn into 5-3 second halves, but with this squad, I think these guys aren't playing to get into the playoffs. They're playing for their jobs. So is the coaching staff. They're coaching for theirs. Front office trying to keep theirs. The heat is on from all directions. And what's interesting is a lot of these guys are playing for jobs and trying to keep their positions. It might be just in the league in some other spot.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That certainly looks like nothing to show now from these first 2 possessions. And guess what? When you're on a losing streak, that can lead to a full sense of, here we go again. So on the sidelines, the offensive play callers, quarterback, they've got to get together and dial something up to start their next drive. Otherwise, it could be a long game.
A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him. Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And fortunately, the Bills jump on it and get it back.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. This time able to hold on to the football, but not much room to run. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Allen going to try and throw on 3rd down. Isaiah McKenzie hauling it in. And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. The Bills had 1-7 now in the year. And they come in just an absolute free fall. Losers now, Charles, of 7 in a row.
And I think this is where, in a locker room, a lot of the team looks to their best players and even silently ask for them to guide them out of this. You know, we've got to be better than what we've shown. We need you to lead us.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Allen and Knox teaming up there for Buffalo first down. Off play action. Allen hit. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 of their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Uncorks one for Davis. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to take over at their own 30-yard line.
Well, to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline, and now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just
nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
So they keep the football, but now face 2nd and long. Franks now. Jones has it. And he is going to lose yardage here. Well, they completed the pass but lost yardage, so they'll decline the penalty.
Perfect play for them, isn't it? Who needs a penalty? When you try and throw the ball, you don't even get it downfield, and they go ahead and snuff out the play. They'll take that as a result.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Franks. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. Vision and speed, two of the attributes that you might say are important for a free safety, and we saw both in evidence there. Allen now looks to throw. Buying time to his left. And that is incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
The kick by Bass is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach turned his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The Franks looking to throw. Caught by Jones. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. 22 yards there, a first down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
On 1st and 10, Franks. And this heads straight to the sideline. I don't think they're going to let him get away with that. Nope, they won't. Here comes the flag. We saw it, too. Nobody in the vicinity of that throw, and that earns him the penalty.
Yeah, you've got to at least get it close enough to one of your own guys in order to dodge the penalty.
Setting up play action. Franks. Looking downfield for Jones. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And the Bills are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. They set themselves behind the chains, tried to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
Tackled there by Monte Nicholson.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. On 3rd and long, it's Allen. And that will be incomplete.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Here comes another drive from this unit, and Charles, they're coming off a costly mistake on the last possession, an interception in a game that is very close right now.
Well, as we know, they all sting no matter what the situation, but in a one-possession game, that'll hurt a little bit more, but this is an excellent opportunity to make up for it on this drive. I just don't expect them to try and take huge gambles to make up that momentum in a hurry.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get it out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. And here's Ryan Wright now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes time, we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. On 2nd and 9, Allen, he'll air this one out deep for Davis. And Allen going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off by a Caleb Evans. And the Vikings will take over possession here up at the 44. So a nice play defensively by the rookie coming up with the INT.
And that's a late-round pick right there, making a first-round impact. And a lot of these day 3 corners, they end up winding up on special teams and sub-packages and even on the practice squad. But he's really made an impact on this defense, and he comes up with the interception there.
First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a 1st down. Now Franks. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And the Bills are going to take over here up near the 40. 3 first-half interceptions now. And Charles, you'd have to think a fair amount of concern is developing over there on that sideline.
And there should be because essentially he's been a little loose and possibly reckless with the football here in the first half. Now maybe it's not all on him, but still 3 interceptions. That puts the entire team in jeopardy. So the play caller from here on out got to design some throws for him that he can complete, keep it away from the defense, and try and get him back on track.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Allen. Escaping the pressure right. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. And this offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
A play fake to Singletary, and now it's Allen. Uncorks one for Davis. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
Vikings turn up the heat and they block it. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. And we could start to see that developing from up here. He came off the punter's right side. He got in there quickly.
He did, and so the question's going to be, did you hang in there long enough on the edge to block? In college, what you try and do is shove it out of his path, and then you take off running downfield because you're allowed to. In the pros, you can't release in the interior until the ball's punted, so there's no reason not to stay in there and make sure you get a good block on it.
Up the middle, it's Cook. And he's got room. He stiff arms him. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. They'll try again here from the 7 on second and goal. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Touchdown, Vikings! Justin Jefferson, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings take the block punt and convert it into 6 points. Joseph now to have the PAT. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game.
Makes the score Vikings 14, Bills 3.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Allen. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Lewis Seen. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. Joseph's got it, and they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. Well, Charles, I think you'd have to call that a win for the defense after the turnover already in field goal range, and they had to settle for 3.
Yeah, being the beautiful part is you start so close to the end zone that your thought process on offense has to loosen up a little bit because you're thinking to yourself, you're almost guaranteed 3. Let's take some good shots at the end zone and try and turn it into 6.
So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This taken in at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
The Vikings take over first down and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this third quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Franks, third down from the gun. He gets this to Jones over the middle. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
The intended target, T.J. Hawkinson, and that'll bring up second down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Caught on the right side by Jones. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
That's another beautiful throw right there. Gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another first down there.
46 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
He was tackled at the 27-yard line. A 4-yard pickup on the play. First down, Vikings.
Back to throw. Franks swinging this out wide here for Cook. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
They certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
On first down, here's Franks. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Back to the ground, Cook. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
This complete to Jones. And he will not be able to get the first as he can get this only down to the 5. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. The kick by Joseph is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Here's a handoff to Hines to begin the drive. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
A third down now. Those last two plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. The throw on target to his receiver, McKenzie. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Allen going to give this one to Singletary. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. Another modest gain there on that one. And I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because
Singletary loses it. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half, and down 3 scores. A lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
That reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes by both of us. I mean, that's just pure and simple. And that's why that's exactly where they are in this ball game. They're going to need a huge turnaround if they want to try and win this one.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. To the right side and complete to Jefferson. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Working out of the gun, Franks. Complete to Jones. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3.
That pattern and scheme was well defensed on 3rd down. He tried to just sprint from one side of the field to the other, and they got it to him quickly. But no chance at yards after the catch there, and they stop him short.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. That also a career-long kick for the veteran, Charles.
Yeah, how about what he just got done there? We always knew he had a big leg, but how about everything coming together perfectly on that one? Great leg swing, and bang that one through.
No run back here for Raymond. This will be a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On play action, Allen. He's got the hook up with Diggs. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution. Even though the scoreboard is going against you, you want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Allen now on first down. And boy, another ill-advised throw there, as that will wind up incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Allen. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. 2nd down, they go right back to Cook. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. Andrew Booth getting sent in on the corner blitz and getting home. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. To the air, Allen. Steps away to his left. And his throw here is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Throwing now is Allen. And that is incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
One final try here for Allen. He's going to air one out. And that will be incomplete. Looked like it might have been intercepted, but he's out of bounds. And a good thing, too, probably. That would have cost him yardage. And now they'll get the ball back on the turnover on downs. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he'll take this one down to the 36.
Now, they did get a little gain on this play, but all in all, a nice job defensively against the touch pass. They were able to string it out towards the sideline and never let him get the corner and turn it upfield for a bigger chunk of yardage.
They'll go option to the short side. Stiff-armed him. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Excellent job on the keeper. 20 yards and a first down. Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. They'll try the wide side with Cook. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. 54 yards on the ground for him so far. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it. They've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
And the stiff arm proved fruitful for a second, but the daylight quickly snuffed down. They'll try and run for it. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. Starting to look like this drive may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps. For these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
They'll run with Cook, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, I know defensive coordinator is going to be pretty excited about what he just saw there. Great knockback by their front. And now with the ball where it is, I would expect to see the offense throw the ball on 2nd and 3rd down here.
On 2nd and goal, here's the option. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. It's their quarterback, keeping it himself from a yard out. And the Vikings are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And it'll come out to the 25 as Raymond will elect not to bring it out. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Facing a big 4th quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled.
Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow them, and they can throw it downfield.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And my goodness, another interception. And that one, Charles, is just going to about wrap up what was no doubt a dominating defensive performance.
Yeah, I don't care what team it is. I don't care who you play, whether they're strong offensively or not. Just giving up 3 points in the NFL, that's absolutely a dominant performance and one that they can build on.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. And they take a knee. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Vikings, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for the Bills, the difficult season continues as they drop to 1-8. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the Cleveland Browns.
Petty don't matter. As that teller, I pray to God they rattle tattle. Hey, what's a rapper? I started off that, now I'm better. I get capital. I help my people to get cheddar. I do business.